Hello, hello, hello. It is Cassandra Terry, your manifesting miracle maker. Welcome to Wake Up Wednesday. It's hard to keep the days of the week straight when it's a holiday week, right? Monday we didn't work in the US, and so I'm off. I'm off, but I am glad to be with you guys. Happy to be back for another Wake Up Wednesday. I definitely feel better today than yesterday. So every day I'm getting a little better, and that I am grateful for. So welcome. Come on in the room. Join us where whatever platform you catch us on, because we're everywhere. It is great to have you with us today on Wake Up Wednesday. We will be talking about intentionality and how without it, you don't have much control over your day, your week, your month, your year, your life in general. Intentionality puts you back in the driver's seat. With being intentional, you're focused on and being really, I hate to use the same word again, intentional about how you're spending your time, how you're spending your resources, what thoughts you allow to take root in your life. When you are intentional about those things, then you have much more control as to how your life unfolds than when you are in this reactionary mode and controlled by external circumstances. When we are not intentional, we have no choice but to kind of go with the flow and to react to whatever shows up. But when we're intentional, not only are we controlling our thoughts, controlling how we respond to things, but we're also giving ourselves the opportunity to show up as the best version of us. We'll give ourselves some space and a moment to actually filter through what's going on and respond instead of react. That little moment, that space where it allows you to move from an emotional reaction to a intentional response makes all the difference in the world. Dawn, I see you out there and I am grateful for you. I see you all the time responding and engaging and sometimes sharing. And I don't think do we know each other, Dawn, other than this show? I'm not, I feel like I should know you. I feel like I do, but I'm missing a connection. But I am so grateful for you. And this is the first time I've had the opportunity to really say it. So I want to take that opportunity to say, I see how much you participate in what I have going on. And I absolutely am appreciative of that. So if we have a connection that I am just missing, drop a comment and let me know how we know each other. And if you just happen to find me through social media and started to follow that way, I'd love to know that as well. Tell me a little bit about you, Dawn, so that we can start to get to know each other a little better. But welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you so much for being here. Let's see. We met at the beach during our birthdays. Of course, Port Aransas, right? Yes, yes, yes. I knew the name sounded so familiar. We did, and it just I can't even tell you how thrilled I am that is you. We had y'all. What happens in Port Aransas stays in Port Aransas, I guess. But when I tell you we had a time was had for our birthdays, and we literally met at a bar in Port Aransas that had big swings in addition to seats. And man, it was so fun. So some of you guys probably saw pictures of me sitting outside at a bar in a swing. And not too far from me, a couple of those days was Miss Dawn and her sister and friends. And we had a great, great time. So good to see you. She told me we connected before we left. And she told me that I was going to see her. And there she is, a woman of her word. And I could not be more thrilled that we're still connected. Because, when you bump into people in different places and times, you just never know if was it just that moment? Was it a birthday cheers and a good time for a weekend? Or will it continue to move from that? So just thrilled, Dawn, that you're here and that we have the opportunity to continue to connect. great, great women I met that weekend. My poor husband just kind of got left in the dust. He was on one side and they were on the other, and we had a good time talking. And so, but he's a social butterfly, so he had no trouble finding people to hang out with because I was having a good time with the girls. All right. So thank you for letting me know. She says, I know I love what you have to say, so I do watch. I love that. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now I was wondering because I kept saying your name and something in the back of my head was telling me that there was a connection. So I'm glad that we put those dots together. All right. I won't bore the rest of you guys with Dawn and I's birthday shenanigans. So we're going to get started on this Wake Up Wednesday and continue to talk about the power of intentionality. And how important it is to set intentions. And one of the things I wanted to do was to talk to you guys a little bit about the difference between intentions and goals, because they sound interchangeable when you think about it. Well, if I'm setting my intentions, aren't I setting my goals? They're close, but they're slightly different. And it's important that we do both, that we have goals and that we set our intentions. When you think about your goals, I want you to think about the what. They're very specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're relevant, they're time bound. I know you guys are familiar with SMART, but they're objectives, they're tasks, they're things that you are looking to get done, things that you want to accomplish. So they're targets that guide your actions to a particular outcome, something that you are trying to accomplish. So when you think about goals, you're thinking about the what it is you want to do. But when you think about intentions, intentions are more the how. How are you going to get there? So those are the guiding principles, those attitudes, the way that you approach life, the way that you interact with people and the different areas of your life. So they focus more on the present moment and the process by which you're going to go about getting that outcome, right? So the goals are the what and the intentions are the how. They speak to more your internal, the person, how you show up, where the goals are more external, the things that you're trying to accomplish with your life. So they go hand in hand. And when we think about our intentions, our values really come into play, right? How do I show up in this world? What kind of person do I intend to be? Right? So it's one thing to say, I want to be a millionaire. We'll put something out there that's easily relatable to everyone. I want to be a millionaire. That's a goal. But my intention would be about how I'm comfortable going about that process. I could say I want to be a millionaire at all cost. Little guy, if I step on you, sorry for you, but get out of the way. There's nothing that's going to stand between me and that million. Or I could say, I want to be a millionaire, but it's important to me that I maintain my connections with people, that I never become bigger, that think I'm bigger than, better than anyone else, that I'm appreciative of those that are helping me along the way. I want to stay focused on why I want to become a millionaire, because there are charities that I want to participate in. There's a legacy that I want to leave for my family. There's these things that are important to me. But at the end of the day, when I hit that million, I still want to feel good on the inside. I want to feel good about how I got there and the type of person that I am along the way. I don't want to lose me in search of that goal. So it's a different intention. One says, hey, by any means necessary, if I have to beg, borrow, steal, that's what I'm going to do to get where it is I have to go. Where the other one is saying, it may take me a little bit longer because there's some things that are important that I keep intact along the way. So I think that explains it well and that you guys get the difference. Intention is the how, the goals are the what. And listen, as we go through this and any other day, if there's anything that I say that you guys have questions about, you disagree with, you want me to expand on, that's what the comment sections are. It allows us to be a little bit more interactive and for me to hear from you and to make sure that the things that I'm saying are sticking, that they're making sense, or maybe you've got a different point of view that can enrich the conversation as well. I'm open to all of that. Kim says, morning, Cassandra, you sound better today. Yes, I feel so much better. Yesterday was my first day really out of bed for a full week. So I was still pretty weak. And after talking for a bit, I was starting to get winded and just didn't feel well. So I went right back to bed, and that's where I was for the rest of the day yesterday. I worked from there. But today I woke up and I knew that all that sleeping and resting had really had paid off, and that the energy level is coming back, the appetite's getting back in place. So yes, I'm starting to feel much better. But I will tell you guys, although it's not in the news all the time and it's not as much of a headline, COVID is still out there. So when we're going into these different environments like a cruise, when you're below deck, there's lots of bodies, lots of people that you have absolutely no idea who they are and how they're doing, that you're interacting with on a regular basis. And so just be careful and be mindful and take care of yourself, because now that the medical community has a handle on it and they know better how to treat it and things like that, it has become more of a normal occurrence in our lives. But it can still really take its toll. I know 4 people who are suffering from it or overcoming it right now. So it's still out there. So take good care of yourself. Be mindful. Keep your vitamins in and your immune system built up, because you just never know. And this one wasn't nearly as bad as what it was before, where you really struggled with breathing and things like that. But it wasn't fun either, right? And it knocked me off my feet for about a week. And I want you guys to be healthy, wealthy, and whole. So just be mindful. Don't be like me and go in and party like a rock star and then come back bringing with you some stuff you'd rather not have. Be careful and mindful, because it is definitely still out there. Grace, oh my goodness, I miss you, Grace. Just seeing your name gives me a little bit more energy. She says, glad you're feeling better and back even better and stronger. The power of intentionality, the how, and goals the what. Yes, intentionality, the how, and goals the what. Glad to know that you're out there, and lovely to see that you're picking up what I'm putting down. Great to see everybody. We're going to keep moving forward. I want to share with you Rita. Hi, Rita. I have missed you guys as well. Y'all haven't seen me in about 3 weeks. I traveled on a cruise and went out of town, I think, with the family before that. And then I came down with COVID. So that's why you guys didn't see me last week. But hopefully I will see you on Sunday, because I miss you guys. All right. So let me share our quote for today. Um, it's good to be able to talk, so I'm a little chatty. I I need to be focused. I need to be focused, but you guys are. I'm getting excited as I see more and more of you. So our quote from today comes from Mary Kay Ash, and she said, "It's a wonderful thing to be intentional about the creation of your life story. Most people just let life happen to them. Be intentional, not accidental." I love that. Be intentional, not accidental. Do not just allow life to happen to you and respond just to whatever shows up. You're more important than that. You deserve more than that. So put in a little bit of thought every day into why you're up to this morning. What is it that you intend to do with the gift of today? If you wake up with those types of thoughts and you take a moment just to be intentional, what are 2 or 3 things that you're going to get done today that are going to move you closer to your goals, whatever they are? When you're thinking that way, it changes everything, because your actions align with your thoughts. They really do. Our brain is so powerful, it doesn't know any better than to believe us. So whatever we say, it gets busy making that be. So be careful about what those thoughts are. Be very intentional about how you show up in the world, what you allow to take root in your life, and believe in you and believe in the best for you. Believe that you're deserving of it, believe that you're capable of it, and then get busy making that belief your reality. If you believe just the opposite, that is going to be your reality. That's why the mindset work that we talk about is so absolutely important. As you believe, you go. What you focus on is where your energy is going to flow. So be very, very careful from the very beginning. That minute thought, we can't control what pops up, but we can control how much energy and attention and how long we allow it to hang around. When a negative thought pops up, just bat it away with a positive. I can't believe I did that. I don't ever do anything right. Why did I just say that? Why did I just think that? I do lots of things right all day long. This just happens to be something that I need to do over. I need to learn a skill. I need to ask for help. I need to try it again. I need to learn from where things went wrong so that I get a chance to make this right and to keep moving forward. Speak back to those negative thoughts. And when you're in an environment that's negative, don't allow that. I think I just went away. Am I back? Can you guys hear me?
Yep, you're back. We can hear you.
Awesome. Yeah, my laptop just said this page is having trouble, and it just everything it kicked me right out. That's when you know it's getting good. That's yeah. I say that all the time. Technology shows up to disrupt when things are getting good, but we shall not be deterred. And I've got my phone right here. So if it happens again, Brian, you just pick up, and I'll join back from my phone because I know that'll be stable. But I shared the quote. It's a wonderful thing to be intentional about the creation of your life story. Most people just let life happen to them. Be intentional, not accidental. Be intentional, not accidental. Do you know that there are people, and I was one of them, who moved through a good portion of their lives believing that they were an accident? My parents didn't plan for me. My mom had me really young. My parents never really got together after I was born. They didn't intend to have one more kid. They got me later on in life. Well, they may not have intended in their consciousness, but subconsciously, we know how babies come to be, and there was a purpose for you being born. There is not a single soul that has ever roamed this earth that didn't have a purpose. Some of us get off kilter. Some of us have rough starts that change the trajectory of our lives and gets us off course, hardens us, makes us angry. But we were each individual was born with a purpose, on purpose. A friend of mine used to say that all the time. You were born with a purpose, on purpose. Whether your parents intended it or not, you were intended to be here the very time that you showed up. And when you realize that you're purposeful, that there's a reason for you to be here, that the world needs what it is that you have to bring, it's a different existence. None of us are accidental. It has nothing to do with the method that you came into this world. What was going on in the adults or not quite adults that created you, that's none of your business. That has absolutely nothing to do with you. That's their stuff to deal with. But you are the beauty of that coming together. You are absolutely purposeful. You are no accident. So don't live your life as if you're accidental. Don't allow life to just be. Take the reins, take control, get into communion with yourself and with your higher power, and tap in to determine what that reason is. Why am I here? What is my unique gift and talent? What's my gifting that I'm supposed to bring forth into this world? This world, the way I see it, is a giant puzzle, and the pieces are all over the place. And as we step into our purpose, we fit another piece into that global puzzle. And because that piece is there, the puzzle overall is stronger. I may be in the center of the puzzle, so I have no idea what's going on to the left and to the right, above me and below me. But just the mere fact that I'm there, that I've taken my rightful place, the puzzle is stronger. It's a little bit more complete than it was. That's what you stepping into your gifting does. It starts to complete that puzzle. You are a missing piece to the puzzle if you're not walking in your gifting, if you haven't found your purpose and you're living in it, evolving it, bringing it forward. There are people who are waiting for what only you have. You hear people say, and it's true, there's nothing new under the sun. I was shocked when I went back. I was on vacation a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and then I was out sick. So I ran replays, and I had replays that went back well over a year. And the same we're every Tuesday we're talking about transformation. Every Wednesday we're talking about being intentional. So I am not so wise, so sage that I'm going to have something completely new to say every week. But it does come out a little bit differently. And things that resonate with Dawn, as an example, may not say anything to Kim. But when I say it a week or two later in a little bit different way, now it may land right for Kim, and she goes, "Oh, okay, now that makes sense to me. That's something I can grab hold of and integrate into my life and move forward." So I used to be so concerned about repetition. They're going to get so bored. They're going to hear the same thing. People are only going to come for a few weeks and realize that the topics are the same, and they're going to go on and find somebody else. But you keep showing up, and I don't feel pulled to change the topics. At some point in time, I may, because I may get that message that it's time to do something different. But right now, this is the conversation. These are the topics, even though they're the same every single week. I'm really intentional. I may find you a new quote or create an acrostic or do something to kind of get us talking about the topic in a different way. But bringing it back is helping us all, including me. I learn something every day. It's helping us to really bring it in and for it to take root. And different people are going to grab it in different ways. Grace says, "I love your constant consistency." Thank you, Grace, and right back at you. You were one of the first people that I met in the LinkedIn space, and so you are very, very consistent and supportive, and I appreciate that. Kim says your gift is just being you. Thank you for being you. You were a missing piece. Glad we connected. Thank you. And we are missing our third piece, Kim. Conchita has been a little under the weather as well. I'm not sure if you've spoken to her. She was trying to get back today, but I don't think she's made it. So keep her in your thoughts and prayers, because like me, she's trying to shake off some of this ick. So that she can get back to her normal routine. And that's the crazy thing, y'all, that's so amazing about this space. Like, I haven't met most of these people yet, but because we're consistent and because you guys are showing up and supporting, like, I'm getting to know you as people. You're not just comments or little pictures on a screen. You're people. Like, I know Conchita's been sick. She knows that I've been sick. We've had conversations outside of this space, checking up on each other. I hear from Kim almost every day in some form or another. And so we're building a community. We are dropping the pieces of the puzzle in where they belong. And because of that, lives will be affected. Is it my life? Yes. Will it be the lives of others? I believe so. That's why I keep doing it. So understand that you're a missing piece. You are just that important. And there's a place for you. There's a message that you have, a book that you're going to write, a song that you should sing. I don't know what your particular talent is. It may be in encouraging. Maybe you're a prayer warrior and you can really support people when they're struggling, but you have a gift that someone is waiting for. I see my connection is getting lower and lower, Brian, so be ready to take over if I pop out again. But I see my mom has joined. She says, "Good morning, fam. You look beautiful, daughter." Thank you, Mama. I look just like you. So, you know what? Thanks for the DNA. I'm glad you found us again this morning. When we were talking yesterday, I think this is your first day. You weren't here yesterday. Shame on you, but you made it today. So I guess with three hearts. So I guess I'll have to give you some grace. I guess. Welcome back, Mother. well, I don't know if most of you guys, Dawn, I don't think you've been around long enough to hear it yet. Every once in a while, my mom pops in and sings. She is amazing. Kim said, nope, never bored. We need the positive repetition. I will check on Conchita. Thank you for telling me. Absolutely, absolutely. And as you guys can hear, I'm still a little nasally, not quite back at myself 100%, but I feel so good at whatever percentage I am compared to where I was a few days ago. So, our quote for the day, just to get us back on topic. Oh, there's Conchita. She says, wonderful Wednesday, everyone. I am here for another amazing day. Glad to see you back, Cassandra. Glad to see you back. I hope you are rebounding and doing well. And we'll catch up a little bit later. So, Brian, I always end now with a few actionable steps that folks can take with them. So I'm gonna give it over to you, and so we can hear from you, and then we'll wrap up with those steps. So if it's a good time, Brian, go ahead and unmute and share your thoughts. And while we're waiting for Brian, I see Vicky Brooks. Welcome, 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 hometown friend. Glad to see that you are out there as well, Vicky. Welcome. Brian, are you able to unmute? If not, I'll keep going. I may run out of air, but I don't run out of words, y'all. All right, Brian may be busy. So we will go ahead and jump into our steps for being intentional and taking control of our lives. And I know we've got some folks who have joined recently, and just in case you don't go back and watch the replay, one of the things that we did at the beginning of our time together was talk about the difference between goals and intentions. So I'll share that one more time. So our quote for the day is from Mary Kay Ash. It's a wonderful thing to be intentional about the creation of your life story. Most people just let life happen to them. Be intentional, not accidental. All right. So, what's the difference between goals and intentions? Goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound objectives. They're tasks, they're things that we are trying to accomplish. They're explicit targets that guide your actions to create a particular outcome. It's the what. This is what I'm trying to accomplish. Where our intentions, those are the guiding principles or our attitudes in which we approach those tasks, the relationships, or other aspects of our lives. They focus on the present moment and the process rather than the outcome. So the goals are the what. It's what I'm trying to accomplish. The intentions are the how I am going to go about accomplishing those things. When you're clear about both of those, you bring your values into play. You have clarity of mind, not only on what you want, but how you're going to go about getting it. As I was saying that, I was thinking about, I just had a flash of a wedding reception, and you have the bride and she's getting ready to throw the bouquet, and you've got that one bridesmaid who's been a bridesmaid one time too many, and she's like, it is going to be my turn. I don't care what I have to do. I'm getting that bouquet. And that woman will lunge herself across the room, knock everybody out of her way, fall on her back, but she's got the bouquet in hand. So she's happy. She met her goal. But what she and her intentions was to do that by any means necessary. Where someone else who's a little bit more thoughtful of the people around them may go, I hope it comes my way. I'm willing to jump. I'm going to go for it. I'll do all these things, but I'm not going to push people out of the way. I'm not going to break my heel or tear up my dress. I'm not going to look crazy to try to get it. You're intentional about what your approach is. They both had a goal of grabbing the bouquet. One of them would do it at any means necessary, or another one would do it within some boundaries that she set for herself. If I can get close enough to have a chance, I'm going to go for it. But I'm not going to run across the room. I'm not going to push everybody out of my way. There's some things that I'm just not going to do to get those flowers in my hand. So the difference, the goal is what? I want to grab that bouquet. The intention is how. Everybody better get out of the way because I'm coming through. Or if it gets close enough, I'm going to go for it. But I'm not going to hurt people in the process. Two different ways of going for the same thing. And that's what intention versus that's the difference between intentions and goals, the what and the how you go about getting that what. I hope that that picture is well painted for you guys. Um, Vicky says thank you and enjoying you. Thank you, Vicky. I appreciate it. Brian, I'll give you one more shot. Are you able to unmute and share?
I was hoping I get a second chance.
Say that again.
I said I was hoping I'd get a second chance.
Oh, of course, always, always. So I'll mute to make it a little bit easier for everybody to hear you. Go ahead and share your thoughts, and then I'll come back with those actionable steps.
Yeah, I really, I don't think I've ever been cognizant about intentionality, goals, and different as I have over the past few months. Right? There's a big difference between getting something done and waiting to get done. And the way you break it down, it really makes you start to think about, okay, how am I doing? Right? Not just what do I want, how am I you know, think of it. It's the other part of the definition of right? Because you
Your audio is pretty bad, Brian. Yeah,
horrible.
it's hard to catch.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's hard to catch what you're saying.
Okay. So you go ahead and
Kim, I know you.
I'll
I
work
will.
with you a little bit and I'll pick it
Okay, all right. And Kim, let me know if it was better for you guys. I was having a hard time catching what Brian was saying. How about you guys? I'm going to go ahead and start working through. I always try to come up with 5 actionable steps for you, things that you can either help you think through the topic of the day, or even more importantly, steps that you can take that are going to actually help you implement that topic into your life. Because one of the things I don't want us to do is to just talk about something. We have to move from planning to implementing, from to do to done. And speaking of that, I've got a LinkedIn room this evening at 6, I believe, 6 Central. And that's the topic of the room, moving from to do to done. We talk quite a bit. You guys show up. And my prayer is that your life is changing, that yet you're picking up things that you can implement into your life so that you feel better in your own skin, that you look in the mirror and you love that reflection that's coming back to you, that you are very, very clear that you're deserving and that you're capable, and that you have an idea, a really strong idea of what it is you want to do with your life. And at the time that we're spending together every day is helping you to develop the plan and actually take the steps to move towards that life that you are working towards, right? That's the point. That's the point. You guys are supportive and I appreciate it, but I don't want you to just hang out with me. I want your life to be impacted and this time to be time that's well spent so that you go away and you're able to do one thing. If it's just one thing, if you do one thing differently today than you've done in the past, you disrupt a pattern and you give yourself the opportunity to have different results. And that's what we're looking for, right? How do we do something different than what we've already always done so that we have a chance at a different life, a different outcome out of our lives? I see a couple of comments coming in. Let's see. Okay, yeah, they were saying that the audio is bad, Brian. They were having a hard time. Deborah, hey family. And I see Felicia Lee out there as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you ladies joined us. We're going to keep moving and jump into those steps that I was mentioning. The first one, when we're talking about intentionality and you taking control over your life and how it unfolds, have you thought about your legacy? I have. I've thought about my legacy quite a bit, and I'll share it with you guys again because it's kind of funny. But I say all the time that the things that I'm doing now are not so much for my kids and my grandkids, because they're getting it, they're having the firsthand advantage of being my kids. They have access to my resources, they have access to me. We get to love on each other, so they get it firsthand. But my grandchildren's grandchildren, I want to be that crusty old lady that's the picture on the wall in the different family houses, and the kids are like, who is that? Why is she on our wall? I went to my cousin's house and I saw this same old lady's picture. Who is this? And the story goes, this is the lady. This is your great, 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 great grandmother. She lived in the way back in the 21st century, and she changed the trajectory of our family. She worked hard. She was philanthropic. She cared about people. She shared her thoughts. She shared her resources. She created a foundation for this family so that we all were able to start with an advantage that a lot of people didn't have. She left a legacy. She left education for us. She left financial resources for us. She left a legacy so that you're able to go to college. She left a legacy so that, and you can turn on, and I've got this old thing that's called a laptop. I know we don't, you guys probably don't even remember know what that is. But back in her day, they used these laptop things. And she talked every day to people. And these are the types of things that she talked about. And they can see me and they can hear me, and not just hear my thoughts, but hear my heart and know me as if I was active in their family hundreds of years later. That's a legacy. That's the legacy for me. I want the things that I'm doing today, not just to impact my kids and my grandkids, but I want it to be so foundational to my family that it changes what being born in this family means for them. They come into some wealth. They come into some property. They come into a mindset and this is who we are and what we do. And you're capable because of your DNA. You're capable just because you're here. I want to set that up. And I began it a long time ago, even when I didn't know. So define your personal legacy. And when you have something like that that's pulling you, when you have something like that that's a framework around your life, it makes a difference. If I know that the things that I'm doing now, I'm intending for people that I'll never meet, it puts power and purpose behind the things that I do, right? I'm already looking past the grandbabies that I can play with, at their children and their grandchildren that I'm not likely to see, but I certainly want to touch them. I want their lives to be paved in a certain way. I want to leave something for them. This is from your old great, 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 great. Because of this, your education is paid for. Because of this, your name is on this. She left you that so that you have a leg up, so you have a starting place that says, whatever this world has to offer, I can have. Whatever this world needs, I can be. That's a bigger legacy than the stuff. But I want to leave them both. And I'm real intentional about that. So that means I have to put some stuff in place so that those things can happen, right? Define your personal legacy so that when you're making decisions, you have something to weigh those decisions against. Are they helping me create, not just live, not just be, not just react to, but create the life that I desire? Define your legacy. And then once you know what that legacy is, set the monthly themes for your goals. This month, I'm really focusing in on financial literacy. So I'm going to, for the next 30 days, I'm going to dig in and I'm going to make sure I learn about wills. I'm going to learn about trust. I'm going to learn about financial management, whatever it is. This month, I'm really focused in on relationships. So I'm going to learn about communication. I'm going to learn about body language. That's silent communication. I'm going to learn some things and I'm going to pour into it for the next 30 days. I want to dig in on my health. So I'm going to learn about mindset and health and why certain things may be so difficult for me to let go of. I'm going to learn about habitual eating. I'm going to learn about stress eating. You whatever it is that matters to you, right? And that aligns with the legacy that you're trying to create, because knowledge is power. And when you set those goals with intention and then you do the work to bring in the knowledge so that you can actually accomplish those things, there's absolutely no stopping you. There's no stopping you. And then you want to establish your daily intentions. I've got my goals for my theme for the month. I'm setting that. And so now each day I'm going to be real intentional about setting intention of two or three things that are going to move me towards accomplishing those monthly goals, the themes for the month. And so now you've taken that big monthly goal and you've broken it all the way down into daily tasks, things that you can do each day. So it's not so big, it's not so overwhelming. You can see yourself getting it done, and you're doing it in pieces, day by day, step by step, choice by choice. And you look up 30 days from now and look how far you've come. But if you just look at that big goal, it's easy to get overwhelmed. It's easy to get frustrated. And then you kind of get stuck, and the calendar passes and you don't do anything different. And now the goal is just hanging out there. Now it's more like, a cloud that's over your head instead of something that should be helping you stay motivated and focused. Just reset. If things don't go as well as you planned, give yourself some grace. Oh man, I really fell off this time, but here's what I need to do to get back on path. And give yourself some grace and get right back to setting those daily intentions. I encourage you to create an intention board. What is it that you intend? How do you intend to show up in the world? I have a vision board, but I also have an intention board. My vision board has the what's on it, the things that I absolutely want to get done, right? Some courses I want to complete, some places I want to go, some things I want to do in my career. Those are the types of things that are on my vision board. On my other board, my intention board, there's words like self-care, vulnerability, a joyful life, being secure. Pieces on there in big letters with an underlined. I want to be peaceful. Things that are not peaceful get extracted from my life. I don't let them take root anymore. That's being intentional about how I'm going to live and how I'm going to go about creating those things. Now, when you have them both, you really have a much more complete picture of what it is and how it is you're wanting to move through this life. What do you want to do with this special gift that you've been given? The daily, hourly, minute, that inhale, exhale is a gift that somebody no longer has. It's a gift that people lose every single day. So when you get to be among the living, don't take it for granted. Go, okay, what am I going to do with this time? What do I intend? And how do I intend to be? And then lastly, you want to reflect and adjust regularly. As you're going through and you're setting these goals and you're learning these things and you're moving through getting things from to do to done, as you're doing that, you're learning, you're experiencing things. You may be experiencing different people, and those things will affect you. So it's important that you reflect and go, all right, I set this goal. I does it still matter? I told you guys before, there's some things on my current vision board. I'm going to do another one at my next vision board party, because there's some things on the board that don't matter to me anymore. Back then, when I created this board, it's about a couple years old now. When I created it, there was some things I was really focused on, some stuff that I wanted to acquire. And now I look at those things and I just see debt. I'm not really big on creating a lot of debt at this point in my life, because I'm getting closer to retirement. I'm getting closer to the dream of traveling and seeing more and more of the world and living part of my life, portion of the year in the US, especially the school year, so I can show up for my grandkids and stuff. And then a portion of the year traveling during those summer months, getting away from our 5 weeks of Texas winter, doing things a little bit differently. And so, in order for me to do those things, maybe I don't need to accumulate so much stuff. It's not, the stuff doesn't move me like it used to. But I wouldn't know that if I just looked at the board and just kept grinding based on what I put on that board a couple of years ago. So reflecting and adjusting regularly is absolutely important. All right. I see quite a few comments have come in. So let me catch up with you guys. And then, Brian, we can, we'll check in on you and see how your audio is again. Let's see. Kelly said, "Beloved sister, you are always planting seeds." Thank you, Kelly. Those seeds sprout immediately, but some may not grow for 5 years. And when it grows, it's like the bamboo tree. It grows strong and uncontrollably. Thank you for investing time in others. Keep blessing others, and may the Creator continue blessing you. Wow. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. And yet that's all we can do. And listen, guys, when we plant seeds, let's just think about being a gardener. Kelly, I can't even tell you, my heart is overflowing right now. I really appreciate you taking the time to pour in and be so encouraging. I really, really do. Um, but when you think about seeds, do you get angry at the seed if it doesn't sprout right away? We have a tendency as people to connect ourselves to the seeds that we plant, the things that we say. And if we're not careful, we you can't make that planting about you, right? So I can have these conversations with people, we talk, we interact, and I give you what I have to give, and then it's yours to receive. Y'all, those who go to church know what I'm talking about. It's yours to receive. It's yours to do something with. And I can't take it on personally, whether you do or don't. I can't get mad at you. Go, Conchita, you show up here every day, and I haven't seen you do anything different. Well, now I've made it about me and not Conchita and her journey and the things that she needs to do, and how her particular process is unfolding, how those seeds are germinating and growing in her life. I'm not privy to that. She may be doing things completely different and I have no idea, because it's none of my business, right? If I have the seeds, I'm supposed to plant them. They have absolutely no value just sitting in a package in my drawer, right? So I plant them. It may be someone else that waters them. It may be someone else that got that the ground ready, did the pruning, and definitely maybe someone else to see them come to fruition. It absolutely may not be me. So I say all of that to say, as you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, as you're walking in your gifting and you're learning who you are and what your purpose is, when you give it, you don't have it anymore. If I had given it to Kelly, it is now in Kelly's possession to do with as Kelly will. If I'm still holding on to it, I haven't given it. I haven't truly given it. And I'm setting expectations on him to behave a certain way because I've given you all this wisdom. I've told you all of these things. See, I keep going back to making it about me, and I'm missing the mark. But when you give purely and you let go and you allow each person to have their process, that's a true gift. That is a true gift. And so, Kelly, thank you for that. You gave me a little bit more to think about and that I wanted to share, because we do show up sometimes in our giving. We give with these expectations that kind of messes up the entire process. All right. So Conchita says it's a blessing to be able to curate our lasting legacy for generations to come. We are living in the best of times. Amen. She also said, thanks for distinguishing the difference between setting our goals and being intentional daily. Great perspective, Cassandra. I'm glad that landed for you. Kim says, heroes are remembered, legends never die. My oldest boy, Owen, his friend passed when he was 14, 10 years ago. This quote was what we put on the back of sweatshirts in his honor. He was a legend at age 14. Time flies, but when you said legend, it brought it back to the top of my brain. Wow, thank you for sharing that. And I love that quote. And it is, legends never die. They take root, they move forward, they live well beyond the physical being of that person. So get really clear about your legacy and what it is that you want to leave behind for the people that you will never ever meet, but are connected with you through your DNA, through your different organizations, your community. There are people that you will affect, there are people that you are affecting that you will absolutely never meet. I don't know who's out there that never gives a thumbs up or never leaves a comment, but they may be getting something. I was shocked when someone asked me to be on his podcast. He had been watching for quite a while. He knew a lot of the things that I said, and I had no idea that he was out there. And that's okay. You won't know the full effect of the of when you drop that pebble, you don't know how big that ripple is going to get. But don't worry about that. Just drop the pebble. Give what you have to give and allow it to take root in the different lives that it shows up in the way that it's going to. Don't try to control that part of it. Just give what you've been given to give. Kim says, I'm so excited to do a new vision board as well. Me too, me too. And then Conchita said, and so thankful for your daily seeds of hope. They truly make a difference in our mindset journey. Appreciate you, Cassandra. I appreciate you as well. All right, Brian. I have gone through the steps. Let's check your audio and see if you're able to share your thoughts.
How's it now? Is it any better?
Good. Oh,
A little
that's
bit?
perfect.
No.
That's perfect.
Awesome. I'm over here watching Minions #2. So that might have had something to do with it. I'm trying to watch the Minions and have my phone on Bluetooth and some other stuff. So what I was saying though was how big intentionality really is, right? It's probably even more important than the goals. I was reading something the other day about the means not justifying ends, but the ends actually justifying the means, right? So just because you want something in life doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be willing to do anything to get it. I remember when I was younger, I had a I had this vision of being this multi-millionaire. That's all I thought about. That was the only thing that was on my mind, was making multiple millions of dollars, in a pretty short period of time. And I let that cloud my judgment, right? I let it confuse me. I let it take over my better thinking, because that was the only thing I was focused on. Not the intentionality, but the goal. Not the what. Not the how, but the what. Right? And the how is just as important. So it wasn't until the first kid came around and I found some responsibility in that, and everything started changing. Everything started changing from from my perspective, from what I was willing to do in order to get that multi-million. Do I still see those 7, 8, 9 figures in my dreams? Absolutely. Am I willing to do the things I was willing to do then to get them? Absolutely not. Everything's different now, right? And when I realized that, I started to move differently. I started to respond to problems differently. I started to respond to the good things that happened differently. I was talking to one of my nephews yesterday, and he said, he said, man, I don't know what it is, man. I just can't keep any money in my hand. I said, I know what it is. You haven't set a plan for it. You're not being intentional about it, man. The moment you get some money in your hand, the only thing you want to do is go and buy the first thing you see. You've got to be a little bit more intentional when you start to earn. And it's not just big things. It's not just the big earn. It's the little earns. You have to build up this habit of intentionality. That's great to have goals. It's great to be intentional, but you have to practice that intentionality in order for it to work. I think you mentioned it earlier this morning. How you have to put these things in place before they can actually become a part of your space. So when you start to think about your goals, also think about intentionality, but think about how you can make these small incremental adjustments in your life so that your intentions become part of your character. That's all I got today. thanks to a big 22-year-old. He's not that little nephew anymore. He's a big guy, but he's still lacking in some of those areas of intentionality. He knows what he wants, he just doesn't know how he's gonna go by and get it. And it's so ironic that we will be having this discussion this morning. I wish he was in the truck with me so he could hear you saying it, because he doesn't listen to me when I say, "Oh man, you already got it figured out. You don't know what I'm talking about." You know how it is when you're younger. Older generation can't understand what you're talking about. They just popped up being old all of a sudden. No, I get you, but you have got to be intentional. You got to slow down. You got to think about what you want. You got to think about how you're gonna get it. That how is just as important as the what. Thanks for allowing me to come back.
Absolutely. So Kim said, thank you for sharing. All right, let
Oh,
me.
thanks, Kim.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we have pretty much shared what we came to share today, but I will run you guys through those 5 steps quickly again, just as a reminder to close things today. And we will be back tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow is already Thursday, my favorite day of the week, Thankful Thursday, where we'll talk about gratitude and the power of gratitude. So we're looking forward to seeing all of you back, and everybody bring somebody. If what you heard today resonated with you in any way, it will likely resonate with someone else as well. So help me spread the word, share it wherever everything's recorded. So wherever you're watching it from, share it to your network, and start inviting folks to join us. We want to keep expanding what it is that we have going on. Kim mentioned being excited about doing the vision board again. Um, yeah, mine's a couple years old, so it is time for me to do an update. And we will be doing a vision board on, I think that Saturday is June 22nd. Is that right, Brian? Let me look at my calendar. Um, yes, June 22nd. And we talked about doing it at noon, but I'm a speaker at a conference at 10:30 that morning. So I want to push it back to 2, Brian, um, just to make sure I've got a little bit of time in between the two events, because I still want to do
Right.
it that same day. So you can go to findyourvision.today, www.findyourvision.today, and you can register for the vision board event. Um, Brian will update the time for us. Right now it says noon, but it's going to be at 2, and it usually lasts a couple hours, sometimes 2.5 hours. So plan from 2 to 4, 4:30. We'll start with a goal setting workshop where we'll talk about good goals. We'll look at the different aspects of your life where you may want to set goals and go through a process to help you decide where you're ready to work and do some goal setting. And then when you've got that clarity and what you want to do in the area of your life, you want to do those things, then you'll have the rest of the time to actually create your vision board. It's a virtual event. So when you sign up, you'll receive a supply list, so you know the things to have ready, and just some details to help you prepare for the event, because it is not about crafts. It's not so much about the end result of that pretty board, but it's about you going through the mental process of gaining the clarity that you need to be intentional, to have some goals set for yourself, and to build a plan to accomplish those goals. So June 22nd at 2 p.m. Central. Wherever you are in the world, you can join, because it's going to be a virtual event. And you can go to www.findyourvision.today to register. For those of you who have joined the SOAR Collective, you don't have to follow that. You will get a direct link to the event, um, because your membership will cover the event. You won't have to pay anything. And those of you who do pay, it's a small fee. It's not something that's going to break the bank. So if you're interested in learning more about goal setting, getting clarity specifically for your life, not just in general, and then creating a visual representation of the things that you want to accomplish, join us at findyourvision.today, and become a part of our vision board party. I'm excited. The last one was fantastic. And so I'm looking forward to doing it again. Let's see. More comments have come in. Grace says, great session. Um, Kim says, I like two better. All right. And Kelly, I don't know what you're saying there. I see. Oh, to join the group. It's joinsoarnow.com. Thank you, Kim. Kim said I should remind you guys of how to join the group. So if you're enjoying Soar, Soar is the book that I wrote. It's available on Amazon. It was published on March the 25th. It is Soar Beyond Limits, Unleashing the Power Within. And Soar is a framework identifying strengths, overcoming obstacles, achieving goals, and building a resilient mindset. And we work through how you go about accomplishing all of those things to get you in the best space and place possible to create the life that you desire. So SOAR will get you there. SOAR will um, help you get the clarity that you need and then build and implement the plan that you have for your life. And we have a private community, the SOAR Collective. Those folks get content from me every morning to start their day. They get more detailed content 2 or 3 times a week, and they get either free or discounted access to any events that I have going on. And we haven't started doing it yet, but the other thing that we'll start doing is having some masterminds at least once a quarter where we come together virtually at first and give everybody the opportunity to bring your questions, your concerns, and we'll just work through whatever it is that you guys bring. I'll have a topic to get things going, but it really will be about us coming together collectively and supporting each other in our endeavors and giving different points of view of how to get things done. So if you're interested in the collective, it's joinsoarnow.com. And the vision board party that's coming up on the 22nd is findyourvision.today. If you're interested in both, it's smart to join the community first because that'll waive your fee for the vision board event. All right, Brian, did I miss anything? I think we have covered it all. Juliana.
I think you nailed it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, with that, we are going to call it an event. We will see you guys back here tomorrow, 7:15 a.m. Central for Thankful Thursday. I have to pause every time I say it to remember what day of the week it is. It's happened so quickly. I think there was somebody. Nope, I think Johnny Bush, I saw you out there as well. Thank you for joining. We will see you guys all back here tomorrow, 7:15 a.m. Central for Thankful Thursday. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks, everyone.